How are we living, boys? A lot of you guys still don't know when to go Bork or Titanic. Can I go with this game, that game, the other thing? This video will clear it up for you, or at least make you understand when you're making the decision and how to apply it in game. The basic claim is that Bork is better in low elo and Titanic's better in high elo, and we'll cover why, but let's just put some numbers to it because this is what a lot of you guys do care about. So here is Jungle Briar, Masters Plus, past 30 days, okay? Masters Plus, Titanic is doing better than Bork, right? More games, higher win rate, pretty simple to understand. Now let's look at the next thing. This will be Emerald Plus Jungle Briar, 30 days, right? And you can see Bork starts to pull ahead. Way more games and a little bit higher win rate. And now the last one, we're going to look at all ranks. This will take everything as a whole. So this is Iron to Challenger. And you'll see an increased disparity. Bork is still doing better, but its games are like almost 4 times. So it's very easy to understand that Bork, the lower you go, does perform better. But why is that? Now, the most basic reason is actually just because Bork is good at punishing mistakes. This item is the best 1v1 item in the game, so that means that if someone messes up and they're in front of you, that means by default you should be winning the 1v1, which will help you snowball. And when you're punishing mistakes, well, mistakes are more plentiful in low elo. I don't think that's a crazy take. And the slow from it is one of the biggest reasons that happens, where hey, Briar, when she W auto Qs, she just procced to slow. So you can try and run away, and then you realize, well, she's now hitting me nonstop, and I haven't traded back yet. Because people haven't figured out the ebb and flow of fighting as much, and also they're already making a mistake. So in this jeopardized position, they might have someone to bail them out. Whereas Titanic in that same situation would put them to about 70% and then 60 and 50, and then, you know, Titanic would E them away and try and kill them on the second cooldowns. You don't really need to do that with Bork, whereas that's more of a thing in high elo where the people won't make as many mistakes, but if I can just chunk you for 30%, you don't realize that that is actually setting me up for my next play. It's more of like a bigger picture thing. Now I'm going to cover some specific drafts where I think you could make both work, but it's what you do and how you play that allows you to make it work. So in this game right here, this is Yumi right here. This Yumi is Briar. This website isn't supported. Who cares? So basically the idea is that if you played Bork this game, what should you do? How should you make it work? Well, I would say that if you played Bork this game, and you path down, don't do anything, maybe you buy some Bork components, let's say you get a pickaxe plus a dagger, you go back down, and then you're met with a 3v3 bot here. Now what happens in this fight? See this fight in your head, their team isn't getting poked, right? You don't have poke champs, you have, you know, if you get them low, Jinx will get excited, and then when you team fight, Janna's just a shielding and slow bot. So the idea is that you as Briar, Yumi, if you go in here, you're going to get hooked, flayed, and then you're going to die before the end of that CC because you're not tanky enough because you're building full damage. In which that would be one of these situations that playing Bork, I would say this is not a Bork lobby. But if you're a Bork enjoyer, how do you make this work? All you do is just path top here, right? Go, you know, Raptor Scruggs Red, go to top side, and now you're fighting Aatrox, where if you 2v2 like this, right? Scion and Aatrox are skirmishing. Scion hits a Q and knocks him up. He's, let's say, 50% health. You with Bork, you're going to shred all of his HP, and he is dead. And you have a much better chance in this 2v2 than you did in this 3v3. So it's important when you're seeing these drafts, if you realize, hey, I only play Bork, you might just have to go to the other side of the map sometimes. If you realize that you're walking into a 3v3, that you have no front line, and you're building Bork, you haven't gotten any tank components yet, then you might have to change how you play or how you even approach fights. And here's another example of the same draft while I'm still thinking about it. So there's a way that you actually could play Bork and path bot here. It's basically baiting your team, right? In Valorant, that's when you let someone else take the fight and then you take the fight against the guy now hopefully having less health. So what would that look like? That would look like Thresh hooking, you know, Janna, and then flying in, right? And he flies in too early, you kill the Thresh, and then his team sees that he's dying, they leave him for dead, and then you are able to play Bork and path bot. So the idea is that your gameplay decides the build, and this is why, right, when I played lethality to Grandmasters every single game, you're like, what do you do in the tank games? I'm just very specific of the situations that I put myself in. You don't have to interact with people if you don't want to for most of the game. Like outside of like 5v5 huge team fights, I can choose to not have to fight someone in topside forever. It is what it is. So I would say it is very important for you guys to realize that some of you are making it work without even realizing. Some of you guys are good at baiting your teammates. You don't even realize it, but you're doing it in a way that's actually beneficial. Some of you guys path to the right thing, but play it in the wrong way. There's so many different ways to make this work. So now let's talk about Titanic a little bit. Now, this is a pretty standard solo queue draft that a lot of you guys do get, where everyone wants to be the damage. No one wants to be the tank. No one wants to be the frontliner or CC. They want to be the damage, and this is very, very common in low elo. So again, Yumi's Briar, website's not supported, but you do have Vayne top, right? Trying to play for lane phase. You have Vigar versus Heimer, and then you have Draven, Renata versus Ezreal Karma. Right? So this, to me, screams Titanic game. Why? Because you have to be tanky enough to, if you were to gank a Kali, right? She has to not be able to just choose that you're dead, right? If you build Bork, she just one-taps you, bro. She's invis. You're not going to fight that. Outside of you, like, predicting her R1 or 2 and buffering E, right? There's a lot more work that you got to do to win a Bork. You ever go into a Heimer with Bork, goodbye. You're dead. You got to bait his ult to play that. And then Ezreal Karma, there's going to be poking you, and especially in this 3v3, right? Mord's going to step up, and their poke champs have already poked your champs down low health, and then they're just going to clean up. So this, to me, is a Titanic game. You know, Titanic here, and I'm going to run around. I'm going to try and just tank for my damage dealers on repeat. I'm going to fly in there with Titanic, Black Cleaver, so on, and I'm going to do, you know, W auto Q, Titanic W2, and then I'm going to buffer E immediately. I'm going to try and end the fight there at like half health, and then I'm going to go to the next lane and go to the next lane, because I go top, right? I put, you know, a Kali to half health, and I'm tanky enough that she can't just kill me. Well, now Vayne can look for her own kill. I can go mid, bait that guy's ult, right? Clear again. Come down here, maybe look for a quick burst, get Draven a cash out, reset, keep it moving. And then when team fights come around, it's not as bad because we actually do have frontline. It sucks that it's you, and it's a much different playstyle than what you're maybe used to, where you are tanking for your team and you aren't just killing the person that messes up every time. But the cool thing is that League is such a game that you could have those same situations happen, where this person easily messes up and Titanic has the damage to kill him. Yeah, man, it's really just this weird thing where you can make any build work, and that's what, again, I'm proving when I play lethality. It's just your gameplay. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish. You have to know what your team can do and what their team can do and what spells you need to dodge to even play the game. And that is kind of how you decide Bork or Titanic. It's basically just, hey, Bork is a 1v1 skirmishing, mistake punishing item, and mistakes happen every game, so Bork can work every game, right? That's just how that works. But you know what else works every game? Taking damage. You're going to take damage every game, and Titanic's good at that. So that's why a lot of you guys don't play one or the other. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you still see success. It's because you kind of figure these things out. Hey, this is not a Titanic draft. Hey, this isn't a Bork draft. It is what it is. You know, there's a lot of times that enemy team doesn't have tanks, but you still go lethal tempo and Bork just because you're like, I'm just going to kill them. I'm just going to fight them. That happens every game. So hopefully this clears up the thought process too a little bit on like optimally which one is better. Mostly it's just Titanic is the best in my opinion because it performs in my rank bracket the best, right? Titanic works in high elo. It is what it is. People make less mistakes, and a big chunk of damage is sometimes better than a kill. Because if I build Bork and then I kill someone, maybe there's risk of me getting traded back. Whereas if I have Titanic, I just put you to 50% health. I've now threatened you to not team fight. And that's going to bait your team sometimes into fighting. And you're going to leave them, or just, you know, damage as a whole makes their team realize that they can't fight. And it was less of a risk on my end to deal that 40% because I have 3k health rather than 2,000 health and I needed a lot of auto attacks. Plus, auto attacks are more just abundant as a whole in low elo. So, hopefully this makes sense, where it's like, you can make anything work in a game. It's all your gameplay that matters. But there are some times where you're leaving a few percentages on the table for your win rate, where you're going Bork and you don't realize that you are the target first. So you might need to be tanky in that game. And sometimes, you know, you'll never really like lose a game because you went Titanic. But the implication when playing Titanic is that you're playing perfectly. You're at every objective, frontlining for your team. You know when to go backline. You're full clearing on repeat. If you drop a couple full clears on Titanic, you will not scale. It is very tough because you've all had those games. I've had them too, where you get Titanic, you take a fight, die, and now you can't tank for your team anymore. And your camps are taking forever because you haven't gotten the damage to make it work. So that's the thought process. Lengthy opener. Here's a game of me playing Bork where I try and show you how to make it work. I waited till I got a game with a very tough draft, and I show you how you can always make Bork work because I've shown you a million times on my Twitch or whatever how to make Titanic work. That's probably the thing I play the most. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the game and subscribe to the video. Like the video. Leave a comment. I have to say these things. So thank you so much. Have a good one. Enjoy the vid. All right, now that we're in game, I'm going to show you guys a little bit just about playing Bork. So what I do to make Bork work, because again, you can figure out when to go it, when not to, but it's all about the plays that you make. So I actually finally did wait until I got a game of Orn, Jarvan, Mel, Varus, Lux. So this would be one of the games that it's like, to me, it's very obvious that, like, you know, just because they have two air quote tanks on their team, I would just go Titanic in this lobby or Lethality or literally anything else other than Bork. But again, you can still go Bork in this lobby. You just have to play in a certain way. And what's that certain way again? Like we talked about, it's going to be me picking my timing, and then I'll go back and try and walk you guys through the steps to figuring out that timing and so on. And one of the biggest concepts I think I'm going to be saying a ton in this game is learning how to bait your team. That, like in Valorant or shooting game, that's when you let your teammates die first, and then you try and fight the weaker opponent. And that's kind of easy. That's kind of all that I'm doing. So when I say bait your team, I'm like, hey man, stand there, let him start fighting. And once he starts fighting, then you figure out your angle, where they're looking at, what they can't see, and so on. So right now we're just locking in a standard full clear, ain't nothing to it. Smiting the red to make it walk to me just a little bit. Again, if you're still struggling with your clear, just look at the full clear guide. It's the same stuff on repeat. I do this same clear every time. There's not a variance in even a single auto. The only thing that can mess you up is like if your jungle pet stops autoing. That sucks. That sucks when that happens. But the more you do this, the more aware you can be of it, which is good. It's right here, right? We're just going to send a quick little 312. And that's not even the best, but that's a super standard, easy one. And a lot of people are like, why do you use double smite? Well, it's because it speeds up your clear so much that it's actually worth it. Whoa! So you gotta, first things first, you gotta, oh my god. You gotta figure out, certain things, right? Let Briar run all the way to the Lux, too. Right, you gotta figure out what they have that can actually mess up your... do I try this? If we aggro to her, I'll try, but... Wait, he hit it. Red buff slow? We have a mid laner coming, so this should be pretty good. If I go, I'm dead. It's worth. Nice. Huge. So, like, first things first, right? You have to figure out what spells are important to your gank, right? So, Lux Q. If she hits me with Q, then that means that I'm going to stand still and miss my whole gank timer and life will suck, right? So it's important, before you join any fight in any Briar game with any build, what spell stops you from playing the game? So this one, it's very obvious that, if you take some time and you just look at this, right? It's, not being close to walls or Orn combo, Jarvan EQ, Mel Meteor, basically, Varus ult, and... Lux Q. Those are just the main things. Now, if you pair your engage with dodging them, then you're really far ahead. And that's the skill of League, is like, how do you accomplish your game plan while denying them theirs, right? So Lux wants to poke and full burst you once she hits you with a Q. So once you realize that, well, Lux's most important spells are Q, and that's the only thing I got to do, now I just have to figure out how to bait her to use it. And same thing with Varus, right? Like, how do I bait Varus to ult? And then dodge that, and then continue, right? Because Varus with ult CCs you, makes your life kind of annoying. and that sucks. Bars, no ult, cannon minion. Cannon minion. So that's all we do. Again, just cycling full clears, that's the best way to win these games. Dude, full clearing is in a great state. Next season, it gets even better. So get used to it now. Start learning your discipline. You'll realize that being high level is super cool. So again, standard thing here. I'm going to figure out where their vision's at. Figure out how I can deny her that Q game plan that we're talking about. They get it, they get it. Oh my god, he died to turret, bro. It's okay. I feel like if I were to gank him right now, he might just get a kill under turret on me. Jarvan's top side right now, he's on 40 farm. So that means that he hasn't done a crab yet. Because 2 full clears. First one's 24. And then next, oh my god, my Volibear's hitting that shit on him. Your first full clear is 24. And then 28, 32, 36, 40. So that means that he's only done his camps. And then now he's gotten 2. That's just lane minions. But you knew that this crab was up the whole time. They're kind of fighting for it. Oh, he actually got that. He's out of mana. He can do nothing here. And my Volibear's not here, so free wave. Nice. Now, the cool thing about Bork, the faster you get Bork, obviously, the better this game will go, because it's a snowballing 1v1 item, right? And, well, the thing about it is, 1v1s happen more in the early game. In late game, people push waves so fast that they can start walking to random fights. So you definitely want to prioritize like getting it when it's efficient. So right here, I would say that it's most efficient if I were to get it after these wolves and then send it, right? Because doing one camp and then recalling feels pretty bad because you're next to 2 camps. Whereas like if I take a quadrant recall and then go to the other side, then there's no trade. Take my recall. I see that I'm here. I see that I'll have 300 gold, but he's going AP magic damage, so I'm not going to go plated steel caps this game. I'm just going to pick up the glowing moat plus pink ward. If I had 400 gold, I'd go ruby crystal. I feel like, again, health is OP on Briar, so buy the Bork, try and get the double ruby crystal locked in. They're taking their fight. To be honest, you might be able to cover this little corner here. Do that. Buffer E into his EQ. We don't get him into the wall, but again, we have Bork, right? I'm saving my Q till he gets low, because if you save your Q till he gets low, you can buffer your W2 into his flash. If you Q him earlier, right, then you have no burst, right? You can't get him low enough to stun him, put him low enough to W2, and then he'll flash away and panic. If you stun him early, he's just going to flash immediately after and not even be close to death. Now, I don't have to go... I do not need help on this. I don't have to go to my bot side because I can basically just... I want to take the neutral on this side because I'm going to be bot side for the next hour, right? So I'm going to lock in getting these grubs, and then I'm going to be bot side forever here because I want my camps. And the thing about it is, if I'm doing my camps on bot side and I'm close to the neutral, then that means I can contest it if something were to happen. Whereas if I'm on top side and they start a dragon, then I'm solely reliant upon my ultimate to hit. So hopefully my Alistar checks dragon. I think greeting this part of the clear is pretty rough. I might walk by my wolves here. But, just getting an extra one. See a TP? Thought I had ult. I tried to send it, but I forgot I didn't. Used it to fight Mel. And again, I just don't want to stand at wolves for 8 seconds, basically, or maybe more. Because I'd already stood and waited for the Gromp. But now there's less of a trade on that side. Again, right, sending ult here would feel really good. But you're sending ult into a Varus ult and a Lux Q. So until, you really feel like those spells are down, which you can kind of just see if they're down by hovering your camera and stop looking at yourself so much. But also, it's important to, you know, if you have Alistar near you, he can soak one, you can get the other, and then the play is more doable. Now, I'm definitely going to make Jarvan trade for that. So I can actually just do this on vision. The only thing I have to worry about is Lux full comboing me. I can shoot a late ult to try and catch Jarvan here, where I can greed and get both. If we miss, we miss. That's okay. Auto Q auto. Now, their bot side is going to contest his bot side. Like, they know that I'm primed to engage on this. So we want to catch the person that's trying to catch us. Well, he didn't go for us, but it's okay. Flash for closer damage. He looks like he took my wolves for that. So there was a slight trade, but we get to trade his support plus his Grump, so it's at least worth. And that's the cool thing about waiting for that that Grump wait, because the level of his wolves should have been the same as mine. So I got his support plus his wolves plus his Grump. So you kind of left him with like just a bait, kind of. It's like it takes him time, and he has to walk deeper into the jungle to get there. I might be a little cooked. We're going to see just how good Bork can be here. Oh my god, Eclipse? Oh, that's what it was. I'm not going to lie, I've never seen Ignite Lux, so that's on my W2. But I have a shit ton of gold, I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, not bad. I feel like I can recall better here. What can we do? This better? I do like it more. Yeah, we haven't had many times to show, like, baiting your team just yet. This has been a pretty standard Bork game where I'm farming and I'm trying to force 1v1s. And that 1v1 that we just did, like, if we were in the same position except I spent my money, it would not be close. I think I can hit a Mel moment real quick here. Nice. Huge. Again, that champion, either she W's and flies into me, or I fly into her. Life is good. I don't really like responding to this. I likely get nothing in most cases here. I can try and save him. Oh, no shot you're staying for the Krugs. You greedy. That's insanely greedy. He did expect me to go topside because my path is going topside down, but instead we just switch it up real quick. I actually want Merc Treads, so we need, what do we need? 1875? Just give me that? No. That's okay. Now again, if I'm on this quadrant, I'm just going to do it all. I'm not just going to take one and keep it moving, right? For like 1875, because there's nothing pressing my time right here. Oh, they actually don't need me, because that TP and Alistar will do enough. It'd waste my time to walk there. See? But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like they're going to do one, do all three, because there's no neutral up that I need to be at right now. So, get everything respawning, and that'll give me something to do after this rift anyway. So now we can basically just buy our stuff. We don't, again, they're going like all AP, so we're just going to lock this. And actually, I'm going to grab another glowing mote. I like glowing motes, man, especially for like a build like this. Because the more cooldowns I get, it gives me a little bit more variance to mess up. Where, you know, if I do mess up a spell or if I get hit by one, I at least get another chance, depending on the positioning that they're at. If he sees his ult, what does he do? Nothing. He might immediately shoot ult, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to W to slide. You're flashing? Yeah. Leave that to a Lux support player to flash from Briar W there. I don't even know what to say about that one. No hate, no hate. W Lux. Oh my god, that's a lot of vision. I don't feel the need to get these wards, I'm not going to lie, because I'm going to Rift Herald, so they can have all these wards. I'm just going to prioritize my time getting to the next big play, rather than a few wards that are just going to die anyway. Our mid laner died, so we do want to grab Prio mid. Get another wave in, because this is a wave that doesn't just die to no one, and it forces them to have to try and grab it. Oh my god. Oh, so close. Buffer E into all their engage. Hit the blast cone while you're rooted. You can always auto during that. Good. I think I have a W2 buffered. Nice. I mean, this guy's just over. You might get flame breath. No, sir. We can let them get that. Keep it moving. My God. Again, neutrals win games, so I see Rift and I see Dragon up. If my team's throwing, they're throwing, man. It is what it is. If they're throwing, they're throwing. It's not I don't care. Not my problem. If you make it into the pit, it'll stop resetting as much. So it'll keep its original health and start getting aggro back. He might send it over the wall. Oh, I feel like I'm directly on vision here. Got the neutral. We run. If they try and engage, I'll just kill them. She might not have Q for a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Orc slow, going pretty crazy right here. Is Q coming up? We want to buffer. Tap E, juke the Q that's coming. Nice. And then you can actually W again. I feel like he might be able to get her, so I'm not going to. Because I don't have E that go into that turret. Buffer E. I'm dead. Okay, good try. The Mel being there messed it up, and I have so much money again. Don't go for these plays. I'm doing it because I believe in myself. Don't do this. But nice. Now Dragon's up, so that's what we want to do next. But we got the trifecta here, man. We got the Bork, Black Cleaver, and Sundered Sky. Again, Sundered Sky, generic snowball item. When do you go Sundered Sky? Generic snowball item. You see I'm snowballing? Generic. It's good. I am going to buy boot upgrade. Boot upgrade shouldn't be gotten, like, I think after, like, 3.5 items, to be honest, but I just have good money for it right now. They're doing their thing. But yeah, so now we prep Dragon. Now, a lot of you guys struggle with prepping Dragon here, where, like, I just need to be near it until my team's near it, right? So, if their whole team sends it, and it's 5v1, I'm not going to go for it. Because then I would just die, right? Sometimes you got to see the, the car in the street. So the problem is that I don't have a ward or sweeper or anything. You can do this sometimes. Okay, they're just not on it, but like if they were, you could just do this. And then you always break right there. Someone's going to step up, surely, right? My God. If they catch me 3v1 there, oh! I think I'm dead, boys. Okay, to be honest, I don't know what they're doing. I'm throwing one question mark because I'm tilted. I'm a human being. It is what it is. My bad, I guess I went too early. I'm kind of getting locked in YouTuber teacher mode that I'm not focused enough. But it is what it is, I'll lock in. Never do that question mark. I can do it because I'm carrying. But never do that shit. It is not good. It is not good. You can buy Sterix in a game like this. I'm not really dying to CC. Most of my deaths are 2 are on 1,000,000 gold. And then there's that one where I just got 5v1'd. I think Spirit Visage is actually pretty good here, though. See Mel in side lane. Like, you guys always say in comments, like, hey, what do I do during mid-game? It's like, figure out, do I go to this team fight? This looks like a loss, so no. So then I go to side lane and try and find a noob. That's it. Pretty easy game plan. Pretty standard, easy game plan. Good weight on the Auri Charm. Nice. Walk through this little corner, hopefully. Oh, wow. He just doesn't respond to the sound effect. I also don't think he understands that I'm this close, though. Does he have ult? Oh, he does. I'm definitely dead. Yeah, dude, he had ult the whole time. Goddamn. I feel like they're maybe going Otacon there. We'll see. They're down both damage dealers, but okay. But their jungler, he could tank it for a long time. I'm not gonna lie, this game is turning into anarchy. And, like, these games happen, bro. The best thing you can do, throw some back pings, and then try and just get people to come to this. So, like, small pings like this, right? On my way, TP, don't spam them. People get irritated, and then they mute you. Now, something like this is scary because he might just get Lux comboed. Nice, he didn't. Again, we want to play slow here, so 8 seconds. Now I'm going to aim for this tri-bush because that's where they're most likely to retreat to. Send it. Nice. Aim to just full kill Jarvan so that they don't have any smite. Try and hop into the ult. Nice. My god, my team is cranking. I can't even lie to you. 1200's a smite. Nice. Rift Herald spawned so we can go for our turrets. Nice. My team got it back, man. Even I started throwing. I started dying for 1-for-1 kills, which is like not where you want to be. When you're fed, 1-for-1 is terrible. But not bad. Boom. Auto Q, auto attack a little bit faster, get a ton of money. E real quick. We do have Spirit Visage in base, so we can definitely go for that. It's an Ocean Dragon Soul, so we will do a lot of healing. They do have anti-heal. A lot of you guys do also ask, like, hey, what do I do when they build anti-heal? Who cares? You only want, like, I mean, simply put, you only want anti-heal. Tap E for the slow, so she can't run away, and then boom. You only want anti-heal when you're... Stick with me. You only want anti-heal because your health's getting low, okay? Your health is getting low because you're taking bad fights. If you just keep messing around on the map and rotating to good plays, finding good positions, you actually won't need to counter anti-heal because if you're in a winning fight, your health's not going down. Yo, do I buy a Titanic just for the love of the game? Do it. Yeah, so, I mean, like, it's tough to kind of explain that. It's like your health is getting low because you're trying to win fights that you shouldn't win, rather than be mad at their item. You know, 2,000 grievous wounds and 500 on the new one. Just learn what a good fight is. Which starts with counting numbers. So if you see your team has 3 and they have 2, that means that they have 3 on the other side. So now if I were to fight, I have to be okay with the fact that it would be 2v1. Now, in this moment, I'm okay because I'm 19-5. But in a game that I'm 5-19, I wouldn't be. AD carry positioning needs to go back a good bit. Why is he stepping up so much? Yeah, I don't know why this guy, he's playing side lane like a solo laner. Unfortunately, that just means insta-death for him. Good try, bro. They're making a play top, like, pre-dragon, which means that they're late to rotate, but they did that because their Jarvan's dead. So they're looking for literally anything on the map to do during that time. So we just sit here and we take dragon, and then we prep Baron Vision. Nice. I don't need to steal his camps here. Like, you could, being up the player, but we don't really need to. I'd rather just live the dream. This guy is in the most illegal position ever. So this is illegal because how does he leave, right? We see his team is over here. So who saves this guy? The moment this is 2v1, how does he live? Plays for the turret kill. That's respectable. I mean, it won't happen, but it is what it is. Now, my mid and AD carry dying, that's just on them, right? Like, hey, we're going to kill Ornn and take Baron. You mean fight bot? It's like, okay. So now during times like this, again, you just keep updating those players, right? So now we have 3, they have 4. But if one person is bot side, then that means it could be 3v3 mid, and I'm fed, more fed than they are. So that means that we actually can have a fight here. So right here, that means this is an okay one to take. She's going to Q me. It's not worth my flash just yet because the fight that you get from this isn't that much. I have the most demon Alistar of all time. Right, like if I just flash and kill her, who knows if I can kill her without the flash on the next W, right? So until you know that you won't, I mean, it's worth it to try and find out. I think this is a bit too far forward for your boy. I do have a lot of money, but I don't actually have enough for my item. I need 300 gold more. Make sure they don't have any vision in the pit. When they don't have vision in the pit, they're more likely to step up because they don't want to lose, you know, Baron for free. Oh, he pivots to block it. I mean, we're going to kill this guy. It's going to take a little bit, but once Black Cleaver fully stacks on him, he just starts shredding. Use Q when your team's nearby. W to the wall. Flash over the meteor. Smite. Do nothing. Tap E for the slow. Juke spells. Send a W. Nice. Now I'm dead, but we can play for the 1. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, I forgot I had Volibear on my team. That guy does not care. Nice. Auto Q auto. Again, it's about like how much can you manage all of these things, right? You know, like how consistently do you remember that you can auto Q auto for turrets, wards, every single thing? How often do you keep your mind on the prize, right? Like what were we fighting over? Baron? Good. If we weren't fighting over anything, why wasn't I farming? So right here, I'm going to look at my W2 damage. See, that's 195, so I know at 1400, I can do a W2 smite. Wait to hold for a second there. I'm full build. This is rare for a video that I get full build. Let's go. But yeah, we really haven't been able to bait our team. Our team's kind of like not really needing me as much. We could put this ult right here. He might walk to the left. Nice. Q auto, W auto, Titanic, W2. D combo. 1, 2, 3. She's gonna look to ward this again, maybe. Oh, really? This might be warded now. Yeah. Get the good W. Wing over this wall. Unless you get that angle, you won't aggro to red. Then you W over this wall. Just let Briar do the movement for you. This is likely warded again. I can get a little burst on this guy. I'm going to E during their spells and just walk backwards till my next spells. An ult Mel, see she'll reflect. Nope, late. I can put E to put her into the wall when she comes out of that. Wow, she didn't die. That's not wall. Respect. That sucks. I don't know, man. Could have given me a try. Not gonna lie, like, this is just a board game through and through where we are just getting bursted. I don't think even if we were full Titanic, we would have lived there. Maybe we would have because we'd likely have plated steel caps and that would reduce the 2,000 that we took from turret, but I think some situations you're just dead on both builds. I think that's fair to say. My God. This is probably one of the times where like Titanic actually probably isn't better than like Death Stance. Because they're not doing a lot of true damage yet, right? So it's a lot of burst, and burst, this is one of your best anti-burst items, right? 30% of damage taken is dealt over 3 seconds, and then you can cleanse it if you get a kill. Cleanse and heal. Now to end games when they get like this, right? The moment that you take an inhib, go to a different lane. But as you go to that other lane, get every neutral on the way. So right here, we're going to pick up red, dragon, and go straight mid. And you're going to see, I dropped 600 health getting rid of Titanic, but I'm way more tanky. And it's like, what? You dropped health? Because, like, you know, armor and MR have, like, a relative amount of health to armor ratio to get the best tankiness. You know, like, you know, you got to figure it out, right? If 50 armor is, you know, effectively 10,000 health with a 5,000 health target, because it cuts it in half, then 10,000 health on 0. Armor is the same thing, but one will look different than the other. It's a tough one to explain over words. Sometimes you be forgetting who's with me. This guy just used ult, so this guy's just dead. If we get Lux queued, we're just going to buffer E in case she full combos, but that's fine because we have all of our spells up. Ornn is rage splitting. That guy's just piss tilted, I'm not going to lie. Oh, he decided to TP back. Wow. Wow, that range. Jarvan's going to look to engage, so I'm just going to buffer my E. I'm going to bait my team for a second, let them cook up, and then I'll find my angle. Sideways, bang. One click Q. Oh, I got the buffer. Scratch my face. I mean, they're just not going to walk out of base, are they? Oop. Oop. She has no spells, and she's acting like she still has them. Oops. Nice. Oh, we got a Varus. No! Oh, man. I tried to Q, E him out of the base to Bully Bear stun. Get the next! He's just trolling. Nice. Well, I don't know, man. This wasn't a very good example of, like, what to do with Bork or Titanic. I guess it's just showing you a Bork game and, you know, some good gameplay with that. But trust me, man. The intro did it all. Thank you for watching.